Good news for commercial establishments in Maharashtra. The Maharashtra Shops and Establishment Act 2017, which basically allows shops and restaurants to stay open around the clock, comes into effect from today. The notification includes shops, theatres, hotels and restaurants, but excludes those businesses that serve alcohol. Before today, shops were required to close by 10 p.m. and restaurants by 1:30 a.m. if they had police permission, that is. According to the Maharashtra Labour Minister, the move is aimed at generating more employment since establishments that choose to remain open will employ people in 3 shifts now. 35 lakh businesses are expected to benefit from this move. Joining in now to take this discussion forward is Rakesh. He's the Joint Managing Director of Future Retail. Priya, Sheth, who tracks this sector very closely, is also here with us. Mr. Biyani, before I toss it across to my colleague Priya, Sheth, a quick question to you on what the impact you expect this to have on the business as a whole for Future Retail. Have you done any number crunching as to the kind of business increase that you can expect over here?
Well, I think firstly, I must, thank the government of Maharashtra for considering this idea of allowing stores to be open 24 hours. Clearly, in some of our cities, and specifically in Maharashtra, people are working multiple shifts, and the city really keeps going on. And having stores open will definitely help many customers who are working in night shifts or who work till late and want to finish up their shopping late in the night. I would say that it's a bit too early for us to sort of comment in terms of what is the kind of an impact that would happen. We have had in the past, also government has allowed stores to be open on certain times of the year for a longer period. And we have seen some gains at that point of time. But as and when we are going to be able to do this consistently, I'm sure there will be customers who would like the idea of coming in late and shopping. And I think for us, the next step on this is going to be about really talking to our customers on a store-by-store basis, identifying the store traffic patterns, and then deciding on the working hours that we would have. I would say that I will take some time before we have some of our stores open 24 hours, because even we'll have to take some time to ramp up. But definitely what we can see for sure is the fact that we would be able to trade on an extended working hours in many of our stores as compared to what we are really operational today.
Mr. Biyani, coming in right there, speak specifically about the kind of outlets. Can you run us through how many outlets are there for Future Group in Maharashtra? If you could give us some sense or a ballpark figure, and that could perhaps give us some estimation as to what really the kind of impact it will have on Future Group going ahead.
So at a group level, I would say we run close to about 180 odd stores in Maharashtra today. And but we have big plans to build a lot of convenience store formats in Maharashtra under the Easy Day brand name. And I would say that many of those stores would sort of look at the opportunity to be open 24 hours, and specifically stores which are closer to transportation hubs like railway station, bus stations, and those are definitely stores which could open for longer durations for sure. But also, I believe the fact that even in some big bazaars, there would be an opportunity to be open for longer durations, including 24 hours. And maybe not if the entire store, but at least parts of the store could be open 24 hours. So that I would, my assumption is the fact that, consumers would not be very keen to really come and buy clothing at 2 in the night. But there are elements of the grocery business which on some fresh food, etc., which people could come in even early morning and buy, and or we could, at the end of their shift late in the night, before going home, they would buy them. So we have to sort of, really, this is also a huge shift in terms of the way customers behave. So I would say that, the way we would try and build this is we would interact with our customers, understand from them what is the kind of things that they would look at, follow the pattern through, and definitely, utilize the opportunity that the government has provided with the change in regulation to maximize both employment as well as the business opportunity.
Sure. Mr. Biyani, about 180 stores in Maharashtra is what you mentioned. How many of these would be perhaps converted as far as the 24/7 format is concerned? And you also said that you look at adding more convenience stores into the fray. So how many more stores can we expect in Maharashtra? Would this accelerate the pace of store opening?
I think there is already a plan. I would say it's a bit early to say the fact that we would have a change in the rollout strategy because of the change in the regulation here. I don't have the exact number on how many stores that will be operational. As I said, it's really not about what I want to do. We need to definitely take feedback from customers. But we are very excited by the opportunity. When you really, it's like if you have one more opportunity where you can now be open for extended working hours, it sounds quite interesting. I would also look at it, a scenario if one of the factors which come in is the fact that while you have operational, the cost of operating during late nights could be higher compared to the sales that you do. And one of the costs which definitely can be an impactful cost is the cost of electricity, which is typically higher for retail businesses in Maharashtra. And we have been sort of asking the government to consider this to make it viable for retail stores to sort of operate. Considering the fact that typically the electricity demand during the nights are not that high. If a certain concession is also provided in the night electricity consumptions, even for retail stores, I would say they would.
Mr. Biyani, I just wanted to understand the kind of cost-benefit analysis, because while you said that the cost of operating these stores would be much higher, how would you view the cost-benefit analysis? Also, if you could give us some sense on the kind of margin impact that it would have till the time revenues come into play.
So, what I'm trying to say is that you definitely appreciate the fact that you're not going to have as many number of customers that you have in 6 o'clock in the evening at 2 in the night, right? The number of customers likely to be in a store at 2 in the night is going to be definitely much lower as compared to 6 in the evening. Now, but if you have to maintain your standards, the light levels, the air conditioning standards, etc., all still need to be at the same level throughout the day. And if the sales are lower in the night, but it is of convenience to the customer, we need to sort of balance between the convenience factors and the cost of operation. I think it's a bit too early to define this, but we have to keep that in mind. So what we are going to definitely look at is that the opportunity to create more convenience for our customers exists with this new regulation, and we will talk to our customers and ensure the fact that wherever the customer says, yes, I would love to be here late in the night, this will help me, we would have our stores operational for the customers.
Okay, so the blueprint is still being worked out right now. Mr. Biyani, we would like to touch base with you once there is clarity on what exactly the rollout will be. But Priya, Sheth, as well as Mr. Biyani, thank you so much for joining in and helping us put that into perspective. Let's shift.